What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now look at this nice and beautiful Olympiad question we have here that we're going to be doing together. And the question says x to the power 2 plus x all over x minus 1 all raised to the power 2 is equal to 8. Now we're going to be looking for the value of x. So the first thing we're going to do, which is the first step, is to say let y be equal to what we have here in this bracket, which is x all over x minus 1. There is a reason for this. It is because when I use y here, I'm going to be having the sum of two squares. Look at it here. I have x squared plus, then in place of this, I'm going to be writing y raised to the power of 2. So this is a sum of two squares that I was talking about, equal to 8. So I can go ahead and call this one equation 1. And now I'm going to be paying attention to what I have here. The first thing I'm going to do here is to cross multiply. So when I cross multiply, I'm going to be having x to be equal to, now y times x minus 1 is y times x is xy minus y times 1 is y. I can move this negative y to the left hand side so that I have x plus y to be equal to xy. Please take note of this. X plus y is equal to xy. I can go ahead and call this one equation 2. So these two equations are very useful for me to solve this question. The next thing I'm going to do is to bring out the identity of sum of two squares. So by saying x squared plus y squared is equal to x plus y all squared minus 2xy. So this is the identity of the sum of two squares, gotten from this expression here. Now what do? I'm going to be substituting. From equation 1, I saw that x squared plus y squared is equal to 8. So I'm going to be putting 8 in place of this. So this is going to be 8 equal to x plus y. What is x plus y? I can get that from equation 2. X plus y is equal to xy. So I'm going to be putting xy here, xy, and I'm going to be raising that to the power of 2 minus 2xy. Now this is looking good. You can see that I have xy squared, then 2xy. So it is easy for me to say let t be equal to xy. That means wherever I see xy, I'm going to be putting t there. So let's go. So this is 8 equal to, this is going to be t squared minus 2t. Very good. So this is a quadratic equation. But let me arrange it very well by moving this 8 to this other side so that everything remains in one place. So I'm going to be having t squared minus 2t. As 8 crosses, it becomes negative 8 equal to 0. Very good. So this is factorizable. Me looking at it, it is very factorizable. This means negative 4 times 2 will give me negative 8. Negative 4 plus 2 is going to give me negative 2. So negative 4 and 2 are factors. So this is going to be t minus 4 and t plus 2 equal to 0. Very good. So we are very close to our answers. Let's move on. All right. So we have t minus 4 to be equal to 0 or t plus 2 to be equal to 0. So here I'm going to be getting the value for t, which is going to be equal to 4, or the value for t here is going to be equal to negative 2. Very good. So we have two cases where t is 4 and t is negative 2. So let's go for the first case, case 1. Remember that we said t is equal to xy, right? Very good. So if t is equal to xy, that means that xy is equal to, I'm taking the first case where t is 4. That means xy is going to be 4. And remember what we said from the previous slide. Let me show you real quick. All right, from equation 2, we said x plus y is equal to xy. So they are going to be having the same values. Let's go. So we are saying that x plus y is also equal to 4 because x plus y from equation 2 is the same thing as xy. Now, this is looking very interesting. Now, we can do something by saying that let x and y be the roots of the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation, because that's going to help me to get the value for x quicker. So what is the quadratic equation? Let's say s squared minus sum of root. What is the sum of root? This is sum of roots. Remember, x and y are the roots. So the sum of root is 4. So I'm going to be putting 4 there. S plus product of root. Product of root is also 4 equal to 0. So it is easy for us to factorize this. This is going to be s minus 2 and s minus 2 equal to 0. So from here, we're able to see that they are going to be double answers. So s is equal to 2. So remember that this value for s is for these roots, x and y. So that means x from here is equal to 2. You know, y is a dummy variable, so we don't really need y. We only need a value for x. So the value for x for our first case is 2. So now let's pay attention to our second case. Remember, the second case is going to be when t is equal to negative 2. Let's go there. All right, so we are saying that case 2 is when t is equal to negative 2. Remember that we said t is equal to xy, right? So that means xy in this regard is equal to negative 2. And from equation 2, we got that x plus y is equal to xy. So they're going to be having the same value of negative 2. So also saying that let x and y be the roots of the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is going to be s squared minus sum of roots. So the sum of roots we have here is negative 2. So I'm going to be putting negative 2s plus product of root. What is the product of root? The product of root here is negative 2 as well. So I'm going to be putting negative 2 here as well, equal to 0. So I'm going to be having s squared. Negative times negative is going to give you positive 2s. Then plus times minus is going to give you minus 2 equal to 0. So pay attention to this equation, which is this quadratic equation we have here. There is no way we can be able to factorize. That means I'm going to be using the general formula to solve. So what is my a? A is the coefficient of the leading power, which is 1. So a is 1. B is equal to 2. And C is equal to negative 2. So I'm looking for S. So S is equal to negative B plus or minus using the general formula. B squared minus 4AC divided by 2A. So now let's go. This is S equal to minus. What is our B? Our B is 2 plus or minus the square root of B squared. That means 2 squared minus 4A. A is 1 and C is negative 2. Very good. So we're doing well. So divide by 2A. That is 2 times 1, which is A, is going to give you 2. So S will be equal to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared is 4. Now, minus times minus is going to give you plus. 4 times 1 times 2 is 8. So all over 2. So this will give you negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 12 all over 2. All right. So S will be minus 2 plus or minus. Now, what is the square root of 12? The square root of 12 is 2 root 3 all over. We have 2 under. So now everything is looking well and good. And if we have to simplify further, we're going to see that we have negative 2 divided by 2 is going to give you negative 1 plus or minus. 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. 1 times root 3 is root 3. So now I have two values of x here, two values of s here, which I'm going to be separating. So let's go there. All right, so s is going to be equal to negative 1 plus root 3, or s is going to be negative 1 minus root 3. We are only interested in the positive value of x. So our x is equal to this one here, which is negative 1 plus root 3. Or you can write it this way, root 3 minus 1. It's still the same thing. So this is the value for our x. Well, if you really learned something from this video and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.